All hail the Corgi. The Indiana Fever took down the Atlanta Dream in Game 3 to take their first round series, move on to the semis, and there are a few interesting things to unpack as a result, including whether or not we could see Caitlin Clark return to action. There's a lot of debate surrounding this and some conflicting reports, so I dug around to find the answer, which I'll share in this video. But first things first, this is a great win. The Fever were underdogs to begin with, but what was special about it was how they won. When you're down 5 with 2 minutes left, the other team should be able to close it out. It should have been game over. In fact, the Dream had an 84% chance of winning at that point. So hats off to them, showing their grit and nerves of steel. And honestly, given everything that's happened to the Fever this season, regardless of what happens next, being a top 4 team in the league after losing Caitlin, Sophie, Sydney, Aerie, and Chloe, this series win is a huge accomplishment. And you could tell from the reactions after the game just how much it meant to them. And while fans have been upset with Stephanie White all season for, among other things, how she's used Caitlin Clark, there's one thing I have to give her credit for. She's rolled with the punches, kept this team mentally focused, and results don't lie. They're going to the semis with what has been a revolving door of players. Kelsey Mitchell had some very kind words that speak to perhaps what we don't see in the locker room.
Coach White has done a good job of talking about how much you guys mean to her. What does she mean to you? Maybe you as well.
Oh man, I've had 5 coaches in 8 years. I've been on, the worst, record teams here in Indiana Fever. So I know where my career started at. I know what I've kind of had to go through to kind of be in this position. I've never had a coach that poured into me respectfully like Steph has. I go where I'm valued, and I've never really felt that as a pro. And so for the first time in my career, I really feel like I have someone that values what I bring to the table as a player and a person. Not just a player, but as a person. So I always love Steph because she gave me an opportunity to kind of be who I am. And it's hard to do that and be that as a professional athlete. And when you find coaches that believe in you, I'll never take it for granted. So thank you, Coach.
Looking ahead, for all the complaints this season, things we would have liked to be handled differently, there have been some standout performers, and it seems like a tight locker room. You have to think next season, with Caitlin in the mix, they'll be contenders. Now, here are a few fun things that happened right after the game, which I think the rest of the league should learn from. First, the Fever admin wasted no time calling out everyone at our good friends ESPN who all picked the Fever to lose. Because, that's what you do in sports. You let your actions on the court do the talking, and you clap back when needed. Someone needs to tell that to Alicia Gray, who needs to be sponsored by Kleenex after getting a fan thrown out for gently heckling her. And to hammer this point home, just look at how the Fever reacted to getting booed after winning. Start the investigation for hate speech now, Kathy. We can't have fans cheering against the other team, now can we? Seriously though, that's how you handle it. Understand that this is a friggin' sport and just tell the 352 fans in attendance to go home and cry into their pillows. The Fever's appropriate reaction has rightfully gotten a lot of praise for that reason.
Caitlin Clark showing you guys how to interact with the fans. You don't pull a Kalia Copper and go to the post-game podium and complain about fans booing. It's a part of the game. Caitlin Clark didn't pull an Angel Reese and get a whole fake racism investigation started because opposing fans are booing you. This is stardom. This is how you handle booing fans. You don't go get a fake investigation started because you can't handle people booing you.
Now, let's bring this back to Caitlin Clark for a minute, because now that the Fever have won, fans are wondering, could she come back? After we saw the videos of Caitlin practicing in Atlanta and jumping up and down on the sideline, you have to think it's a physical possibility. And according to Scott Agnes, it's not about the groin anymore.
Scott Agnes, it's the groin. It's not the groin, it's the ankle. It's not the groin, it's the ankle. People saying stop lying, man. Scott Agnes is the one person that's been legit. He's the one person, regardless of what you've said, what you think about him. He is the closest thing to an insider.
Now, love or hate Scott for what he said about Fever fans, he's close to the team and doesn't say anything that isn't quote-unquote sanctioned by them. So I think we can take this as fact. And this is good news because if her groin is good enough to play, she's going to come back strong to start next season at the very latest. And there's no reason to think the Fever can't make the finals. They've beaten the Aces twice this year.
You actually just referenced it twice. It is Indiana. Dropped 2 of the 3 games to them this year, but you haven't seen them since late July. What excites you about that matchup?
That they haven't seen the real Aces yet. They caught us when we were at a bit in turmoil. Not only that, they whooped us.
Sure, Becky Hammond says the Fever haven't seen the best of them, but it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. Lower seeds have won championships in professional sports. If they make the finals, that would give Caitlin enough time to ramp up. And that, interestingly enough, would complete the Michael Jordan sophomore season arc. Like Caitlin, MJ was injured for most of his second season, with a broken foot, interestingly enough, then came back in the playoffs to drop an NBA record 63 points on the Celtics, who were a juggernaut back in 1986. She's already shown she can come back from injury and dominate. You need only look at the comeback against the Liberty with the 9 points in 38 seconds, dropping threes from the parking lot. And if you're the rest of the WNBA, you should want this because ratings have been in the tank, and with Caitlin, they'd be through the roof. We're talking 4 million viewers when she returns. That's a feel-good thing when you're trying to negotiate enough money to, as Breanna Stewart said, pay back old players for what they did to grow the league. Don't get me started on that one. But here's the reality. The Fever have ruled her out for the playoffs, meaning she's off the roster. This means no matter how far the Fever go, she cannot be added back. Once you're off, you're off. So there is 100% no chance of her returning for a storybook ending. Why did the Fever do this? Perhaps they didn't think they'd go this far. Whatever the reason, they've committed to Caitlin not playing another game in 2025, which is a bummer, because I think she totally could have played, only for the reason that elite players play hurt in the playoffs. But if you're a Caitlin fan and you want to see her win a championship, you have to like the heart of the Fever and what they've been able to accomplish this year. It bodes well for them and Caitlin next season. And if Caitlin keeps wearing those black Air Force Ones, and with a little help from the lucky Corgi, the Fever could make a Cinderella run. They've got the spirit. Let's see what the basketball gods have in store. If you're still here, drop a W in the comments because you're the real winner for sticking around. Thanks for watching.